someone outside of that years over this, and I've heard other people teach around it or about it and stuff, and so it just kind of intrigued me. But here I want to bring out a couple other scriptures. Galatians 1, 8 and 9. It says, "But though we, and angel from heaven preach another gospel unto you, that which that we have preached unto you, let him be accursed." Now listen to this, verse 9. He repeats this. Paul is doubling down. "As we said before, so I say now again, if any man preach another gospel unto you than that you have received, let him be accursed." The word accursed there is anathema, and it means a devoted thing to God without the hope of being redeemed. That's what the word accursed means. So when you curse someone or something like that in the Greek, that's what that means, is you have committed something to God that cannot be redeemed. It's irredeemable. And so them are pretty strong words. And now I want to read 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into the angel of light. Now, the reason that I said that is because there is a lot of religions that are out there right now that said, "Oh, I had an angel visit me and tell me the truth." Well, right here should have been their first clue. That Paul says, even if an angel appears to you, then if it goes against what we have already preached to you, let that person be accursed. So the reason that I bring this up is because Muhammad, in 610, stumbled into a cave, and inside of that cave, turned around, and he seen an angel that showed him the enlightened way, the true way to God, and the lost path. And so Muhammad then wrote the Quran. And that's when the second path and Islam took place. Muhammad had at that time 313 devout followers and warriors, and there was a battle, and where they believed that they had their divine direction and divine God was that in that battle there was thousands of people that was coming against them, so they were outnumbered, out-weaponized, out-skilled, and yet that 313 men defeated that army. And in doing so, they believed that he doubled down, see, what I was given was true. And so this is proof that I am who that I'm saying that I am. And so that's where the Quran come from, was the enlightened. Now, here's the thing. The Quran also believes in eschatology. Do we know what eschatology is? It's the study of end times or end things. We see in 2 Timothy when it talks about that in the last days, perilous times will come. That word last days is eschatos, meaning coming from eschatology. So our eschatology works comes from the Greek word eschatos, meaning the study or the end of all things. And so the Quran has eschatology in it. It has end times prophecies and end time beliefs. And just like the Bible does. And when we start going through this, if things just does not curl your toes, then you just don't have a grasp of this. Because Islam believes that in the last of the age, in the middle of chaos, the Mahdi will appear. He will come in on a white horse, and he will step up to start to take reign. But before he comes on stage, he'll just be an average guy that is living an average life, that is very humble, and he's very humble, and he walks in a lot of humility, and he's just a common guy with no stature at all. And now, this 313 appear again to the guy and say, you're the Mahdi, you're the selected one, you're the chosen one, he will try to deny it, and then they will convince him to come along with it, and that's when he'll come riding in on a white horse. And when he does that, then here is another thing that is telling. They believe in Jesus. Islam highly believes in Jesus, but they believe he was just a prophet. And he is a highly esteemed prophet, but not as esteemed as Muhammad. Now here's the thing. They believe that Jesus did not die on the cross. They believe that he ascended into heaven just like Elijah, and that he's still in heaven in his earthly body beside Allah, who they call God. Now here's the other thing. Islam is monothesis. Do you know what that means? Monothesis is, mono is one, a thesis is God. So it's meaning one God. Christians are monothesis. We're monothesis because we believe in one God. So does the Islam belief. They're monothesis. They believe in one God, and his name is Allah. And I say, so now Allah is in heaven, and Jesus, the Messiah, is sitting beside him or standing beside him. And now this is the Islam belief. And they're waiting for Allah to send Jesus back to the earth as still a prophet. Prophet of what? He is going to validate the Mahdi. He will stand up, and then the Mahdi, in their prophecy, will say, you pray, recognizing Jesus as the Messiah, and he says, no, you pray to the people. And so now you've got this messianic figure pushing this guy out on the stage. So what is that when we read the book of Revelations? That is the Antichrist and the false prophet. Who they're saying is Jesus, waiting to come back, is still they're believing he's a prophet, and he's going to push the Antichrist out on the stage, and they will catch everybody's attention through that. And so they also, in their Quran, says that the Mahdi will rule for 7 years. That he will be in power for 7 years. And that he will make a covenant with Israel. But his whole goal would be to destroy them. So going in, soon as he takes the stage as the Mahdi, he knows he has 7 years, and he knows that he has the calling to destroy and decimate Israel within that 7 years. I mean, this is what is written in their book. And this is what that is written in our book. It's almost a type and shadow. And we see the evil plan of how everything in the Bible that has been twisted. In Thessalonians, right before that we get into this, it says that they'll be sent a strong delusion, a lie, and they will believe it and be damned. And so that we see here that the Messiah, which is their Jesus, just did not die, but he ascended. We know that that's not true. We know. But here's the thing. How many people is being misled today? Because an angel of light showed somebody something. Now, when you get out and just, I've started doing just a lot of looking into Islam. When you look at it, like the Shiites and the Sunnis, there's two different tribes there. One believes that the Mahdi will come through the chaos that they stir up. Who do you think Iran is? They believe that's why they'll never give up. They will never quit. It's because they believe that it is their calling from Allah and Muhammad, that Muhammad had selected them for this time to bring in all of this chaos. So it will open up the door for the Mahdi. And then end times will take place. Well, you got like the Saudis. They're more like, hey, we're just going to wait. We're just kind of going to kick back, and things are falling apart on its own, and it takes place. We don't have to stir anything up or cause anything for this to come true. And so you see the two difference in the religions there. So Iran will never be able to make a deal. They'll make one, but they ain't intended on keeping it, because it would go against everything to their core belief about getting destruction. And what we brought out Sunday was also what they believe is that regime that they're calling, and how they bring in the chaos is by destroying the United States and Israel. They believe that if they can destroy the United States, which they call the big Satan, and they call Israel the little Satan, that if they can destroy them, cause the chaos, then it will open up the door for the Mahdi to come in and rule. And so, do you think that they're ever going to quit? With ideology like that, you think they're ever going to change directions? You can't negotiate with these people. They die for this, because everyone that dies, they think they're getting 72 versions on the other side. They're just going to have 72 demons waiting on them. They ain't going to have 72 virgins. They're going to have 72 demons waiting on them on the other side, because they was believed a lie. And they was willing to die for that. We really need to know in these end times what we believe and how we believe, because of all the great deception. You know, the great deception, the angel of light, Satan, the angel of light, is still bringing in deception today. You look at a lot of the modern churches of how that their theology has changed, and how that we're leaving holiness. And I'm not saying that we need to go back to, long sleeve shirts, clean shaved face, women with long hair, no makeup, no jeans. That's not what I'm saying. That's not holiness. I grew up like that was what I was told was holiness. That's not holiness. In the Word of God, in Romans, it says holiness is a fruit. Holiness is when God gets a hold of your heart, when Jesus gets a hold of your heart. The things that you used to like to do, you don't want to do no more. That's a fruit. That is something that's produced out of you, that just grows out of you. Holiness is not something that we do as a work to try to earn favor with God. It took me a long time to figure that out. When you have things, and so going back to being teaching, when you have things put into your mind your whole life, then when you really start to study the Word, and you're going, and it goes, well, this is what I'm reading, but this is what I was taught. It causes a war. And there was a point where I said, God, if I'm going to pastor, I am willing to forget everything I've ever learned for you to show me the truth. And whatever you show me in your Word, I'm not going to read the Word to interpret it. I'm going to read the Word to apply to it. There's a difference, because a lot of people read the Word to interpret it how they believe. So they go into it with a preconceived idea, because they already have an idea of what they believe, and they read in their beliefs into the Bible. And so I was doing the opposite. I said, God, I'm going to read the Bible and let it interpret itself to me.